Hello, it's your favorite Professor Kyra, and I got another mascot topic for you today that arose from my first game of the season that I just worked over the weekend. That has been an ongoing issue that I feel like has kind of broadened itself into a bigger kind of topic. So I'm kind of going to focus on what happened, but also kind of make a very broad topic for it. And I know I've talked about this before, but I need to talk about it again, unfortunately. And that is simply stop saying inappropriate things to mascots. I think people fail to realize that being a mascot is still a job. We are still performing a job. When we are running around having fun, we are still completing our job that we are paid to do. We are not just characters that are just running around for the hell of it. We are working, we are doing our job. Please stop saying inappropriate stuff to us. You wouldn't say inappropriate things to somebody else in their job, so why is saying inappropriate things to mascots okay? Now, let me give you some examples. The particular instance that happened is why I'm going to talk about this entire topic to begin with, and that's stop hitting on mascots. Stop flirting with us. Stop trying to get us to go out with you. Stop asking for our phone number. Stop. It's very weird and inappropriate behavior for anybody. And it's even more weird when you don't know who is behind the mask. You don't know who you're talking to. You could be talking to a minor. You could be talking to someone you would have never in a million years thought is underneath that head. Now, what exactly happened that made me want to talk about this in a specific standpoint, basically? At the end of the game, usually, depending on the outcome of the game, I'll either be on the concourse or down celebrating with players if we win. This particular game, we did not win, so I was in the concourse just kind of saying bye to people as they were leaving. Very normal thing for at least me and my partner to do. Not every team does it, and yeah, so I'm waving goodbye, taking some pictures, all that good stuff. Genuinely, if there wasn't a table between me and this individual, I do think they probably would have inappropriately touched me, because it was an older gentleman with I assume his wife. They were leaving. And it was such a sudden interaction, and it really kind of concerned me, and I've realized that I don't hold back my reactions to this stuff anymore, and I highly recommend you do the same if you're going to be a mascot. I'm sitting there, because I was sitting, and then I was standing, because, it's the end of the night, and I'm tired. I'm so unbelievably tired. There was a block party before the game, and there was, a lot of running around and craziness. I was done at this point. But I'm at this table, and this guy with his wife, out of nowhere, "Are you a guy or a girl under there?" And I heard the question, and I, jokingly was I fluffed the suit's hair, and they're like, "Oh, you're a girl. Can I get your number? You want to go on a date, sweetheart?" And I immediately was like, whoa, what are you doing? I genuinely hate that question. First off, it's very inappropriate. What people need to understand is when mascots are working, we are who we are. So say Akira is a mascot, you are talking to Akira and Akira only. There is no who's in the suit. No. You're talking to Akira, and that's how it is. Mascot work is very this is a living being, and they're going to be treated as such, and they are going to be respected. They are not going to be questioned who is actually in the suit, because in the mascot world, this is not a suit, it's a character. So, I reacted to this. The guy, he's still going. His wife's telling him, let's go, which I would have never let my husband say anything that crazy without me getting very angry, because you're not going to disrespect a random person that's trying to do a job. You were at a very clear age that you knew I was a human being in here, and you did not need to make it really fucking weird. So my immediate reaction is just, whoa, like, no, we're not doing that. And I would just move on and continue to interact with other people. I've done that a lot. Stop hitting on mascots. But also, just inappropriate questions. You want to hear a weird one that I got? I want to say it was last season. Now, I was a handler at the time for my partner, because sometimes I'm the handler for my partner, sometimes I'm the other mascot. It just depends on whatever games I'm needed for. My partner was doing the same sort of thing. They were waiting in the concourse to say bye and take pictures and interact with fans before we were done for the night. So I usually stand back and I let my friend, do their thing. And this guy comes up to me and he's like, hey. I'm like, hey. He's like, hey, so we can take pictures with him, right? I was like, yeah, hey, you can take pictures. You can take pictures with him. And then I get, can we take inappropriate pictures with him? And I don't like that question, because what are you about to ask me? So I ask, what do you mean inappropriate picture? This guy and his friend thought it would be fun if they take a picture with my partner, my friend, in an Eiffel Tower pose. I don't feel like I need to go into detail about that, but I immediately was like, absolutely not. And if you could try to do that, I'm going to tell you to leave. And they're like, oh, come on. I said, absolutely not. I said, absolutely not. They wanted, well, yeah. Yeah. I was like, you're not going to do that. And then they got irritated and left. That's very inappropriate. You would never ask a normal human being that, just because there's animosity? Yeah. With mascots, it doesn't give you an okay to be inappropriate to us because you don't know who we are. That's not how this works. Also, inappropriate touching, I have touched on many times. Do not inappropriately touch a mascot. Do not inappropriately grab a mascot's crotch. Do not pull tails. Do not touch without some consent. If I'm opening my arms to you, it's okay to hug me. Do not grab my chest. Do not grab my ass. Do not grab my crotch. And especially, don't try to put your arm under my head, because you're going to strangle me. I've been in that situation before. Do not grab mascots like that. You shouldn't really be grabbing mascots to begin with. The only really appropriate thing you should be doing when it comes to close contact is a hug. Other than that, you should not be doing those kinds of things with mascots. Also, in that same kind of category, you're not hitting mascots. I have had to yell at people before because, there's fun little roughhousing where you're, pretending to fight someone, but when you actually go swinging and punch somebody in a suit, we can get very easily disoriented and fall and not only hurt ourselves, but hurt other people. Do not do that. I've had to yell at people to not do that, and I think that's kind of crazy that I even have to tell another human being, do not punch someone. Again, anonymity with mascots, people forget how to act. Also, stop trying to purposely hurt us. I had an instance last season, that I luckily had a handler for, where I was interacting with these teenagers, and I didn't see that there was one that was behind me kneeled down because their friends were going to push me over them and make me fall. We don't intentionally hurt mascots. We do not do that. You need to understand that if you purposely hurt us, charges will be pressed against you. We are human beings. We can clearly see you, and we can see what you look like, and there are cameras everywhere, just so you know. So do not do that. You will catch a charge so fast, and you will, A, probably be banned from the arena in which you're attending. B, especially in the case with teenagers, you're going to have to explain to your parents why you're going to jail, because you just assaulted the mascot for the team that they attended. I had many instances where teenagers were trying to harm my partner. I had spoken very heavily on the instance of my friend almost getting hit as hard as this person could with a binder while they were walking down the stairs. They were intentionally trying to hurt them. If I didn't yell at them and tell them to not do that, they would have done it. They were in mid-swing, and I scared them because they didn't know that I was with them. I might not be the biggest person in the world, but I have a voice when I need it, and I will yell at you, and I will make you look stupid. So, very easy recap here. Stop saying inappropriate things to mascots. Stop being inappropriate to mascots. And stop trying to intentionally hurt mascots. We are trying to do a job. People need to understand that being a mascot is a job. Being a cast member is a job. It's a job. Yes, we're here to have fun. And by all means, we are here to mess around, have a good time. We are not here for you to harm us, touch us inappropriately, and just make us like we're not human. Okay? Okay. Learn to respect mascots because I shouldn't have to make these kinds of videos, but unfortunately, here we are. Right? It's exhausting sometimes.